There is a specific window in the agricultural calendar that the most productive farmers of the early 20th century treated as the most important soil management moment of the entire year, more important than spring planting preparation, more important than summer fertility maintenance, more important than any single intervention during the active growing season. That window was autumn. And what those farmers did during that window to the soil they intended to plant in the following spring produced a mineral foundation for the next season's crops that nothing applied in spring, regardless of quantity or expense, could fully replicate. Modern gardening has almost entirely abandoned the autumn soil investment that early 20th century farm management considered non-negotiable. The shift happened gradually as synthetic spring fertilizers became available, inexpensive, and aggressively marketed as the solution to every soil fertility question. Why invest in autumn soil building when a spring fertilizer application could deliver nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in soluble form directly to spring transplants? The logic was economically compelling and agronomically short-sighted in equal measure. Autumn soil building with the materials those 1900s farmers used was not primarily delivering nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. It was building the mineral foundation, the biological infrastructure, and the soil structural complexity that determines how efficiently spring-applied fertility is used once it arrives. The material at the center of early 20th century autumn soil management was kelp meal, dried, ground seaweed harvested from coastal environments and applied to agricultural soil at the end of each growing season. Farmers who had access to coastal kelp sources had been applying it to their inland fields for centuries before the 1900s, transported at significant effort and expense because the productivity improvement it produced justified the cost. By the early 20th century, commercial kelp meal processing made it available to farmers without coastal access, and its adoption in serious vegetable and grain production was widespread enough that agricultural extension publications of the era document its use as standard practice on the most productive farms across multiple regions. What kelp meal provided that the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium fertilizers could not was mineral complexity. Dried kelp contains over 60 trace minerals and micronutrients in organic forms that integrate into soil biology gradually rather than flooding the soil chemistry with soluble mineral salts. It contains natural plant growth regulators, cytokinins and auxins, that stimulate root development and cell division in the plants grown in soil it has been incorporated into. It contains alginic acid compounds that improve soil structure by promoting the aggregation of soil particles into the crumb structure that increases water infiltration, air movement, and root penetration. And it contains iodine and other compounds with documented antimicrobial properties against specific soil pathogens, a biological protection function that synthetic mineral fertilizers provide no equivalent for. Neptune's Harvest Organic Kelp Meal Plant Food with a 102 analysis in a 12-pound resealable bag is the modern version of what those 1900s farmers were incorporating every autumn, and the link is in the description. The 102 analysis reflects what kelp naturally contains, not primarily nitrogen or phosphorus but potassium and the mineral complexity that those macronutrient numbers do not capture. The low nitrogen figure means it can be applied in autumn without creating the nitrogen flush that promotes vulnerable late-season soft growth susceptible to frost damage. The potassium and trace mineral content works over winter as soil biology and freeze-thaw cycles gradually integrate the material into the soil complex, so that by spring planting the mineral foundation is in place at full depth rather than sitting at the surface waiting for water movement to carry it down. Apply it in late autumn after the final harvest, incorporate it into the top 6 to 8 inches of the bed. The winter soil biology, which is far more active than most gardeners realize, continuing to process organic material at significantly reduced but non-zero rates through temperatures well below freezing, works on the kelp meal across the entire dormant season. By spring, the mineral complexity it contains has been partially integrated into the soil biological matrix, the structural improvements from alginic acid are measurable in changed soil texture, and the plant growth regulators it contains are present at root zone depth ready to stimulate the root development of the first spring transplants. The autumn investment that early 20th century farmers refused to skip is not nostalgic advice. It is the foundation that spring fertilizer spending builds on. Without it, spring fertility additions are working against a mineral and structural deficit that no single season application can fully overcome. What becomes clear when this system is applied consistently over multiple seasons is that autumn soil work is not a single intervention, but a compounding investment. Each application of kelp meal does more than prepare the soil for the next spring. It slowly shifts the baseline condition of the bed itself. Mineral availability becomes more stable, soil structure becomes more resilient, and biological activity becomes more self-sustaining even during dormant months. The garden begins to carry forward improvements instead of resetting them every year. And this is where the real difference between seasonal feeding and long-term soil building becomes visible. Spring inputs tend to act like corrections, quick responses to immediate plant demand, while autumn inputs act like architecture, shaping the environment in which those future demands will be met. Once that distinction is understood, the timing of soil management becomes just as important as the materials themselves. The same input applied in spring and autumn produces entirely different outcomes, not because the material changes, but because the system it enters is in a different state of readiness. Over time, this approach reduces dependence on reactive fertilization and replaces it with a steady accumulation of soil fertility that carries each new season forward from the last. Subscribe to Hydrohaven and check the description for all product links. See you in the next one.